There are 6 reasons that you may be suffering from inflammation in your toes and in your fingers. Yes, inflammation can be in your toes and in your fingers. Hey, beautiful. Welcome back to my channel, The Holistic Boss. It's Coach Raynaud, your holistic health and wellness strategist. And in today's video, I am going to be sharing 6 reasons and or signs that you may have inflammation in your toes or in your fingers. And so you want to take some notes so you can check yourself to see if you have any one of these signs or if any one of these reasons may resonate with you. All right. So let's jump right in today's video. Number 1, we are all familiar with arthritis and how arthritis works, right? We know that rheumatoid arthritis or osteoarthritis can cause inflammation in the joints and even in your fingers and your toes, right? That is reason number 1. Reason or sign number 2 is gout. Have any of you suffered from gout? Do you know what gout is? If so, share that in the comments below. I'd like to know what you have experienced with gout. So gout is a form of arthritis, believe it or not, that causes sudden and severe redness or swelling, and it's often inside of your big toe. And I'm going to share a story. My dear cousin, who called me one day and told me that she has gout. She's had this excruciating pain in her toe or her foot. I believe it was her toe, she told me, but one or the other. But she could barely walk. And it was excruciating pain she was suffering. So she had to go and get that taken care of. And how did that start? Well, she shared with me she had been eating a lot of greasy foods. That's how hers started. Now, yours may be starting for a different reason, from a different reason. Remember, our bodies are unique. Everybody suffers pain differently, or inflammation may affect your body differently than it will mine. So mind you, she said that she had been eating a lot of greasy food, a lot of seafood, and the next thing she knows, her foot was in excruciating pain, and she can barely walk. That's how bad gout can affect the body. All of that inflammation. So she had to go get that taken care of, and I told her what she can do. She drank cranberry juice. She drank, she had to eat more greens, leafy vegetables. But I'll get into that as we go through this video. All right. So that was number 2, gout. The third reason or sign that you may have inflammation in your toe and or your fingers is an infection, right? We all know that infections can turn into, if we don't take care of that infection, it can turn into something worse, right? So when we injure ourselves, and that's the next tip, but infections, when we cut ourselves, it's just like if we ignore it, it's going to escalate into something more, right? So if you have an infection in your finger or your toe, like cellulitis, it can lead to inflammation and swelling, and it can just keep escalating throughout the body if it's not taken care of. All right. So that's reason or sign number 2 is an infection, and it hurts. Right. Number 4 is injury. If you've suffered a recent injury or had some type of trauma to your finger or your toe, this can cause what's called a localized inflammation. And it's part of the healing process, right? We know that when we injure ourselves, we hit ourselves, and I do this sometimes, not quite often, but sometimes, right? You might hit your elbow on the wall. And I've talked about this before in my previous videos. You hit your elbow on the wall and then we just ignore it and go on about our business, right? Well, that's not always the smartest thing to do. We need to stop and make sure that the swelling is not going out of control, getting out of control. You know, we didn't bruise it. And if we did bruise it, we need to treat it, you know, put some ice on it, whatever the case may be, right? So when we hit ourselves or injure ourselves, we can't just ignore that injury. We have to stop and take care of that injury, right? It's like when we hit our elbow, it's like, oh, that hurts, right? We say, ouch, that hurts. So it's giving us a sign that, yes, we just hit our elbow. And yes, I need your attention. Just check me out to see if I bruised you, or if I, you know, or if it's swelling, turning red, whatever the case may be. All right. So that is reason or sign number 4. Reason or sign number 5 that you may have inflammation in your toes or your fingers is Raynaud's disease, right? And this is a condition that causes changes in the blood flow to your fingers or to your toes, and it can potentially lead to lots of swelling or discoloration, right? And sometimes this happens to me, like if I sleep, you know, on my side for far too long or the wrong way, in the wrong position, I might wake up the next morning with numbness in my fingers. And what do? That means that the blood is not flowing like it should, because I didn't block something on whichever side that I slept on. I didn't block the flow of blood flowing throughout my body, right? So what do? I get up in the morning and I go and I either turn on the cold water, not too freezingly cold because you don't want to shock yourself, right? So you turn on the cold water to loosen up the blood flow, allow the blood to start the flowing process again. And I'll talk about remedies later on in this video. So you want to make sure you stay until the end of this video so you can get the tips on how you can heal naturally, holistically, if that's what you choose to do. So stay tuned. All right. So number 5 was Raynaud's disease, right? And what is Raynaud's disease? It is a condition that affects the blood flow to certain parts of your body. And it's usually your fingers and your toes. So some of you out there might be suffering from Raynaud's disease and don't know it. You want to check in with your healthcare provider, your licensed medical doctor, to make sure that you are not suffering from Raynaud's disease. Because if you're having issues with your blood flowing properly on a regular basis, this could be a sign of Raynaud's disease. So you want to check that out. And usually Raynaud's disease responds to cold temperatures and even stress. We all know how that stress can sneak up on us, but it's interesting how when we are under so much stress, how the body responds. And this is one of the ways that the body responds under stress. You might be having signs of Raynaud's disease. All right. So don't ignore that. This is when the blood vessels, the small blood vessels in parts of your fingers or your toes can constrict or become narrow, right? And that's not a good sign. We don't want our small blood vessels, or none of our blood vessels for that matter, to constrict or to become smaller. We want them to stay open, you know, as they should, so the blood can flow throughout our veins and our bodies naturally, like it should, right? So it limits the blood flow. And when this happens, it can cause the skin to turn white or blue or purple, leading to feelings of coldness, numbness, or tingling in that affected area. So do you have any tingling or numbness in your toes or your fingers? If so, let me know in the comments, and let me know what you have done to take care of this tingling and this numbness in your toes or your fingers, because we can't keep ignoring. Sometimes we think, oh, it'll go away. No, but we keep ignoring it. Then it starts to progress and progress and progress, right? So you do not want to ignore your tingling in your fingers. In your fingers and in your toes. This numbness. It could be you have a poor blood flow, right, in that area. So please make sure that you are aware of these signs. You're aware what's going on, and check in with your licensed medical doctor to rule out whether or not this is Raynaud's disease. Okay. All right. So there are two main types of Raynaud's disease, and one is primary, and this occurs on its own without being linked to any other medical condition. Who knows, right? We just don't know. And number two, secondary, which is also called Raynaud's phenomenon. Where'd that name come from? Raynaud's phenomenon, right? This is the second type of Raynaud's disease. And this one occurs as a result of another health condition like lupus or scleroderma, right? So you always want to be cognizant of the fact what's happening inside of your body. And the triggers for Raynaud's disease are often due to cold, like I said, cold weather and stress. And we need to make sure that we are improving our circulation, which might include something like wearing warm gloves when you're out in the cold weather. Like right now, the majority of us in the world is having cold weather. I know when I go outside, when I take a walk, my fingers are the ones who start to feel like they're freezing the most, especially when we're talking 20-degree temperature, right? 30 degrees. It's cold. And I have on gloves. I have like 3 different pair of gloves for the cold weather. And some of my gloves don't work so well because I still feel like my fingers are freezing at the tips, the very tips of my fingers, And so it's important that we wear warm gloves. We have socks on our feet to protect our feet, and we are managing our stress. And, because we want to make sure that we are not stopping the blood flow through our fingers and our toes. We got to keep the blood flowing. All right. So that was number 5. So now the 6th reason or sign that you might have inflammation in your toes or in your fingers, you could have other inflammatory conditions, right? Like I said, lupus is another huge one. You might want to get tested to see if you have lupus, or psoriatic arthritis can also cause inflammation in these areas, right? So just make sure that you are paying close attention of these signs that are happening to your body. So once again, let me know in the comments your thoughts. If you're experiencing either one of these 6 signs, or these feelings in your toes, or your toes feeling numb, or they're tingling, or your fingers feeling numb. What's happening? Let me know. Share your comments so we can get you the help that you need, right? Now, if you're looking for a natural or holistic approach to managing Raynaud's disease or any of these, there are several options that may help improve your circulation process. The blood flow through your body, through your fingers, through your toes. You can reduce the recurring and the occurring episodes that you may be experiencing, right? So I'm going to share with you 12 actually. I'm going to share with you 12 potential options for you to consider that could help you get your blood circulating properly, your blood flowing normally. And these are options that you can pick and choose from. Now, once again, everybody's body is unique. On this channel, I teach all things holistic, healing, and healthy and natural. How can you heal your body naturally? And if it's not going to work naturally, then that's between you and your doctor, and you all need to talk about a solution to what might be your health challenge. I like to call them challenges. All right. So, but this is not, these 12 potential options or solutions are not to replace anything that you may talk to with your doctor about. However, these are options that you can try, holistic options, natural options that can, start your blood circulating properly like it needs to circulate. All right, so here we go. Number one, when you are feeling numbness or tingling in your toes or in your fingers, once again, there is either some health condition going on. You may have slept wrong, like I have many times, and I felt the numbness in my tips of my fingers, right? And so I just did what I know to do best, was go and run cold water over those fingers, and everything, my blood flow started to open up and flow properly as it should. All right, so let's get into it. Number one, warmth and proper clothing. I talked about the gloves. I talked about the socks. You want to wear socks and gloves, especially when you are in cold temperatures. Sometimes we think, oh, I don't need a jacket. Oh, I don't need, warm socks or the right pair of shoes. But as we age, things start to change if we have no control of some of those things. So if we used to go out in temperatures 30, 40 degrees and we were in sandals, not so anymore. So we have to remember where we are in life, what stage, what age we are in life, and how our health is changing. And hopefully it's changing for the best, not the worst, but we want to make sure that we are taking care of ourselves. So we have to layer our clothing. Sometimes we have to wear a shirt like this, and then we have to wear something underneath, and then we have to have a jacket on to keep our upper body warm, our upper torso warm, and then our bottoms. Like some people might be too hot in long pants. Well, you need to cover your feet and your hands to make sure they are warm. So remember, layer your clothing properly so your body can feel warm. You can wear thermal footwear. There's plenty of thermal footwear that you can find when it's cold, like I said, and consider hand warmers. I have gloves that have hand warmers in them. Do they work? Yes, they work. You get the right brand, hand warmers. So think about that. Wherever you are in the world, just make sure that you are taking care of yourself. Number one, that's warm and proper clothing. Number two, exercise. Exercise, you cannot escape exercise. Those of you who are able and willing to exercise, move your body, you have to exercise to keep the blood flowing properly, the blood flowing and circulating in your body, right? Regular physical activity, engaging in cardiovascular, walking fast, brisk walking. If you can't walk fast, just walk at a pace that suits you. That is cardiovascular exercise. We need our heart to be healthy, right? And when we can pump the blood through our heart properly, it starts flowing. You can swim. Those of you who like to swim, you can practice yoga. All of these exercises improve our overall circulation and reduce the severity of these symptoms that we might be having. These signs and these symptoms of our toes and our fingers not, feeling numb and tingling. All right. You can also do, that's still number two, exercise. You can also do like hand and foot exercises, right? You have there, and I should have brought this on this video to show you where there's a hand exerciser that you can use. You can just do regular exercises, opening and closing your hands, your fingers, right? This keeps the blood flowing. This is simple and easy. Just get the blood flowing, right? You want to practice these. It might seem like simple, but this is a big deal. But they have exercise balls, hand balls, small balls that you can purchase and just roll around your hand to get the blood flowing, get the blood circulating in your fingers and in your hand, right? That's simple that you can do. All right, that's it for the exercise. Number 3 is dietary changes. You're not going to skip diets. You're not going to skip exercise on this channel. So dietary changes and things that you need to incorporate that will help to keep your blood circulating like it should, right? Get the blood flowing properly in your veins, right? And these are foods like anti-inflammatory foods. And I've shared with you many times about my recipe guide, my anti-inflammatory recipe guide that you can take and buy to help you start cooking healthier meals, daily, weekly meals. These meals, these recipes inside of this recipe guide is going to help remove the inflammation from your entire body, not just your feet, not just your toes, but inflammation in our entire body. And we need to get the inflammation out of our bodies, because if we have if our bodies are full of inflammation, it's going to go from our scalp down to our toes. Our scalp can be inflamed. And what happens when our scalp is inflamed? Our hair could start falling out. Our scalp is itching. Inflammation is no joke. It is real. I've had inflamed scalps before, right? And so some of you might be having issues with your hair thinning or falling out. You need to have your scalp looked at to see if it is full of inflammation. Inflammation could show up in the form of dandruff. And it's not always showing up in the form of dandruff. You still may just have inflamed scalp where you might be itching all the time. You know, there's no reason why we should be itching our scalp all the time. So inflammation can start from the scalp all the way down to our toes. And this is why it's important that we are continuing to eat an anti-inflammatory diet, because when we continue on these inflammatory diets, then we are just inflaming our body. We are putting fuel to the fire, right? So dietary, and the link to this anti-inflammatory recipe guide is in the description. So you can find the link to this guide in the description. And so what can you eat? How can you eat? What can you eat to keep the inflammation at bay, right? To keep the body healthy. So omega-3s. Now, I always talk about omega-3s. You can get omega-3s in flax seeds. You can get omega-3s in avocados. Avocados has a plethora of vitamins and nutrients that our bodies need. You don't have to eat it every day. You can eat an avocado once a week if you like them. If you don't like avocados, there are walnuts. There are flax seeds, like I said. There are nuts, plenty of flax seeds, nuts. If you eat seafood and you don't have an allergy to seafood, there's fatty fish, a healthier fatty fish that you can also eat, right? So these are considered omega-3 foods. That's just a small list. There's plenty of omega-3s out there for you to partake in on a regular basis. We have to keep this up on a regular basis, not just one time, not just once a week. We have to diversify our fatty foods, our omega-3s, just like we do our vegetables. We have to diversify these foods so that our body can receive the vitamins, all of the vitamins. We need vitamins A through Z. When I say A through Z, I'm talking about all the way through zinc. I can't think of the A vitamin, but I'll think of it in a minute. All right. Okay. All right. So another nutrient that our body needs, or mineral rather, this is a mineral, a magnesium. Magnesium helps the blood flow and it helps our muscles relax, right? So when some of you might have problems sleeping, you may have a magnesium deficiency. because magnesium helps us, our bodies, to relax. It helps us to sleep well. So check out your mineral. You need to have a mineral test to see where you might be deficient in your minerals, because zinc, magnesium, iron, all of these are important for our blood to flow properly, for us to sleep well, for us to relax, because so many of us are stressed out, right? And I know I mention this all the time, but we are. And some of it is good stress and some of it is bad stress, right? We have a negative stress, we have a positive stress. So positive stress can be just as bad for us as negative stress, depending on what that positive stress is, right? We might be moving to a new home or a new territory, like, me, for instance, right? And so it's a lot of moving parts to that move, right? And I'm still not there, guys, so bear with me. But it's a lot of moving parts to that move, wherever we're going, whether it's in country or out of the country. It's a lot of moving parts. First of all, you never lived out of country. Second of all, you don't know all the nuances that you need for that new country, right? Even if it's just a different state or a different neighborhood, it's exciting, but it's stressful because all of the prep work and everything that you have to do. All right, so that was mineral magnesium. Another thing, we're still talking about dietary changes, which was number 3. Cayenne pepper is another spice that can help increase the blood flow, right? It stimulates the circulation in our body. We need the stimulation. Cayenne pepper could be hot to most of us, right? And so what is that doing? It's stimulating the blood circulation throughout our body. And I'm giving you these choices. You don't have to do all of them, but pick and choose something that's going to work best for your body, right? So you can add cayenne pepper. I add it to my salads. I add it to my, when I'm sauteing meals, right? You can add these things as you go. Garlic and ginger, that's another one. Garlic and ginger are my favorite, right? I use garlic in everything that I cook because I know how it stimulates the blood circulation, how it cleanses the body, how it gets rid of inflammation, and ginger as well. Ginger is good not only for helping inflammation, but it's good for the stomach, cleansing the stomach. You have a stomach ache, stomach cramps, ginger is your best friend, right? But it's known, ginger and garlic is known for its circulatory benefits, and it could help to improve our blood flow and reduce the inflammation, as I said. So you can do fresh ginger, or you can do ginger granules, right? Or garlic granules, or fresh garlic. I like to do fresh. I like everything fresh. But I still use, I still have both the seasoning and of garlic and the ginger, right? So your choice. But I do mainly fresh. All right, so getting to number 4 of the 12 potential options for you to consider when you are trying to get your blood flowing properly, your blood circulation, is herbal supplements. And I have not, this year, I'm going to be talking more about supplements. So stay tuned for that video that will be coming up sometime this year. But talk about ginkgo biloba, B-I-L-O-B-A, ginkgo, G-I-N-K-G-O. Now, this is an herb. I have not used this herb, so I'll be quite honest with you. I have not used this herb, but it's been shown to improve circulation by dilating the blood vessels, and it may help to reduce the frequency of Raynaud's attacks. That's why I wanted to mention that. So before you try it, read the directions, read the ingredients, and understand what it does for the body before you try it. I have not tried that yet. All right. Next, in the herbal supplements is cinnamon, one of my favorites. I use this when I am making smoothies, when I'm making my homemade natural pancakes. Yes, I like natural pancakes, and they are all natural from scratch. All right. So yes, cinnamon. You can make cinnamon apples. You can bake apples and put cinnamon on top. There's many ways that you can make these meals taste good and smell good. I started to say smell and smell good, right? Cinnamon. I love the smell of cinnamon as well. And this could help improve the circulation of your blood, and it reduce the blood vessel constriction. We want to reduce the blood vessel constriction, right? You can use it in different foods, in different meals, and even smoothies, like I said, right? Next, the next supplement is hawthorn berry. This is a herb that supports the heart health and the circulation, and it may help reduce the symptoms of Raynaud's disease, right? So these are some that you can try, some supplements that you can try. Why do we call them supplements? Because it's added, something added, right? All right, so that was number 4, herbal supplements. Number 5 is aromatherapy and essential oils. So essential oils for circulation, oils like peppermint, right? I use peppermint when I'm making like a spray, even for bugs. Like if I'm making a spray, if I'm traveling around the world, I'll make my spray with different oils, and peppermint is one of the key oils that I use. All right. So for circulation, essential oils for circulation, peppermint, ginger, rosemary. I love rosemary as well. These are like massage oils, but you want to make sure that it's a massage oil and you are using a carrier oil. If it's not a massage oil itself, you always want to use it. Anytime you're putting these oils on your body, you want to use a carrier oil like jojoba oil, like olive oil, coconut oil. Those are considered, oils that you want to use in conjunction with a carrier oil. Those are carrier oils that you want to use in conjunction with an essential oil if you're going to use it on your body. Okay. All right. I had to explain myself. All right. So like I said, rosemary, these can be massaged into the skin, I'm specifically talking about your fingers and your toes, because this is what we're focusing on, how to get the inflammation out of your toes and your fingers, because this could be due to many reasons why you have inflammation in your toes and your fingers. And I just shared with you the 6 signs that you may have inflammation in your toes, the 6 signs and reasons. All right. All right. So this, so how does this help? And I think I mentioned olive oil too. How does this help? This helps with the circulation. So this is how you massage it into your toes. When you go for a massage at the massage therapist, when they massage your feet, they are using therapy oils like peppermint, rosemary, ginger. Next time you go and you get a foot massage, ask them what type of oils are they using, and I can almost guarantee that they'll mention one of these oils. All right. Number 6, the 6th reason, or number 6 is the 6 out of 12. I'm giving you 12 potential remedies that will help to ease the circulate or start the blood flowing in your fingers and in your toes, and get the blood circulating properly. So this is number 6 is stress reduction. Once again, stress. We have to learn how to reduce our stress. And how do we reduce our stress? We have to practice mind-body meditation, right? Mind-body meditation. Stress is a common trigger for Raynaud's disease. It really is. So practices like when you practice meditation and you practice deep breathing and mindfulness, this can help manage your stress levels. We have to stop and take a deep breath, right? We have to stop and take a deep breath. Sometimes when I find myself going 90 miles an hour, I stop and I take a deep breath. And believe it or not, that makes a big difference in what's happening, because it allows me to focus and think about where I am. What am I doing? Why am I going so fast to stop? Just take a breath. You know, the old saying goes, stop to smell the roses. Stop and smell the roses, right? Yeah, so practice mind, body, meditation and deep breathing and mindfulness and prayer, right? This helps ease the stress from the body because the body is stressed. Next is yoga. You know, yoga, I explained to you, yoga is simply stretching your legs, stretching your body, wiggling your toes and your fingers. Like when we fly on the airplane, we sit for however many hours that plane ride is. And sometimes some of us don't move. And some people get up every hour. Why? Because they know that blood circulation is paramount. We have to keep the blood flowing. We can't just sit in that seat for 8 hours or 5 hours on that flight, or even 2 hours. Or when you take long trips on the road, you have to stop and stretch your body. Stretch your legs. Do those toes exercise, your fingers. Get that blood circulating in the legs and the toes and the fingers, because our blood flows from our head to our toe, right? Inflammation comes from our head to our toe, goes from our head to our toe. So we have to nourish the mind, the entire body, and our souls, our spirit, right? We have to do that. It's very important. Number 7, I just talked about. Number 6 was stress reduction and how you can do what you can do to relieve that stress. Number 7 is an option, acupuncture. And some people with Raynaud's disease find acupuncture beneficial, right? For improving their blood flow and reducing the frequency of their attacks that might happen, right? It may help to stimulate the body's circulation and the balance in the body. Sometimes our bodies are off balance, right? Which can trigger all of these things, all of these uncomfortable feelings in our body, all of this inflammation, all of this stuff. So acupuncture, if you haven't tried acupuncture, it might be something you want to try. If you have tried acupuncture, let me know in the comments and share your experience and how you felt afterwards. Did it work for you? Right? I would like to know, and some of our viewers would like to know, right? All right, number 8 is biofeedback. So this is a technique that involves learning to control physiological functions such as body temperature and blood flow. Have you tried biofeedback? It's a big deal out there. A lot of health enthusiasts do this biofeedback, and they find it to be very rewarding for their body, for the entire body. So this helps our temperature, our body temperature, and our blood flow, and it can be practically pretty useful for stress-induced Raynaud's disease. Some of you who may have been told you have Raynaud's disease could have been brought on by an excessive amount of stress. We know our bodies work differently. Stress works. My body doesn't do well with stress, right? And so I need to know what triggers my stress. And how do I manage that stress before it goes out of hand or gets out of hand, right? So we have to become cognizant on how our body functions, how it works. That's why I say pay attention to your body, right? And this biofeedback that I'm talking about, it teaches you how to relax and prevent vasoconstriction. What is vasoconstriction? This is the narrowing of the blood vessels. We do not want our blood vessels to get out of hand. So we want to control it. We want to make sure that, once again, that the blood flow is flowing properly. And it's not being constricted, right? We don't want it constricted, right? That's number 8 is biofeedback. Number 9 is hydrotherapy. Hydrotherapy is contrast baths, right? You know, it's almost like cryotherapy when I talked about on my video a couple of weeks ago. If you haven't seen that video on ice baths and cryotherapy, go check that video out, because it is another way that you can help your blood, get the blood flowing through your body, your fingers and your toes. I've done cryotherapy and it works. So that is another way. If you have not tried ice baths or cryotherapy, you might want to check out that video that I did a couple of weeks ago. I will put a link in the description below. If I forget to put the link in there, remember to go check out the video on cryotherapy and ice baths. All right. I just did that a couple of weeks ago. All right. So this is that's number, and the last tip under hydrotherapy that you might want to try, and we all try these, Epsom salt baths, right? Epsom salt bath, soaking in a warm water with Epsom salt. You don't need all the fancy stuff, all the essential oils. You don't need all that. Just get plain old Epsom salt first to try that. And it helps relax the muscles and it promotes blood flow. So take a 30-minute Epsom salt bath and soak in warm water, not hot, not freezing cold, but just warm, so you can get the blood flowing and circulating and to relax those muscles, in your body. All right. So number 10 of these 12 potential benefits or things that you might use to help your toes and fingers, help circulate the blood flow in your toes and fingers, is vitamin and mineral supplements, right? And we talk about specifically vitamin B3, which is niacin. And niacin we get in most of all of our foods. We get it in whole grains like brown rice. We get it in beans, lentils. We get it from leafy greens, nuts and seeds. And when I say lentils, I'm specifically talking about black beans, chickpeas, something that's full of vitamins and minerals, and it has protein in it, right? So these are the type of foods where you can find niacin, which is also called B3. We need this B3. We cannot function our body. We need our blood circulating properly. So make sure you are getting the niacin. It's better to get it in food as opposed to taking a supplement. And if your body is rejecting B3 from food, then that's when you need to talk and reach out to your doctor to talk more about how can you get this B vitamin, this niacin in your body. And that's when your doctor may talk to you about supplementing in pill form. But I am recommending that you get it from healthy foods like leafy greens, like chickpeas, lentils, black beans, right? All these nuts and these seeds have niacin in them. So any food that's chock full of niacin, you want to make sure that you are eating these foods. And then under the next vitamin and mineral supplement is vitamin E. This helps improve our circulation and it helps reduce the blood vessel constriction. Again, we do not want our blood vessels constricted. We want them open and flowing properly. So before you supplement with vitamin E, make sure that you are getting it through your foods first. If your body is not able to get it to your foods, then you talk to your healthcare provider about supplementation on vitamin E. And I can't wait to do that video on vitamin supplementation, right? So stay tuned for that. All right. Number 11 is stay hydrated. Stay hydrated. We have to hydrate our bodies with pure water, right? So we can make sure that we're flushing out our toxins. We make sure that we're keeping our blood clean. We have to keep our blood clean, right? It supports our blood flow and it can help prevent Raynaud's attacks. So drink plenty of water throughout your day. to ensure you have good circulation. Don't overdrink it because you can overdose on water. I know. So just know your body. Know when to drink your water. How much is enough for you? You don't have to drink a whole gallon like some people do. Some people can drink a gallon a day. I know people who drink a gallon of water a day. Does your body require a gallon? Probably not. Mine does not. My body does not require me to drink a gallon of water a day. I know my body. When I get up in the morning, one of the first drinks that I have is my water. Why? Because I cleanse, I push out the toxins. I want my blood to flow properly in all of my body, right? And then the next drink I may have, if I'm having liquid that morning, then the next drink I might do a juice or I might do a smoothie. But make sure that you are getting water the first thing in the morning, because that is when you push out the toxins from the night before. You push out the excess foods that don't need to be in your body so you can go urinate properly and you can go poop properly, right? This is how you get your body activated for that day, that first day, the next day, right? That's number 11. Stay hydrated. Number 12. Avoid smoking and limit your caffeine. Whether you have coffee, caffeine, whether you have tea, caffeine, whether you have green caffeine, limit your caffeine intake, right? Smoking and high caffeine intakes can constrict blood vessels, believe it or not. And this makes the Raynaud's disease symptoms worse. Now, I'm not saying that you have Raynaud's disease. Perhaps you don't even know that you might have it, which is why I'm recommending that you get checked to make sure that you do not have Raynaud's disease. If you are having these problems on a regular basis with your toes and your fingers being tingling, numb, inflammation, right? We're talking inflammation, right? So avoid these things. It can reduce your triggers, right? And it can help to manage these symptoms. And remember, while these natural approaches can be helpful for you and to you, it's always a good idea to discuss any new treatments, any new supplements, any new whatever I've mentioned or shared with you, any of this. You always want to make sure that you check in with your healthcare provider to ensure that they are appropriate for you and your individual needs. So let me know in the comments below if you've experienced any of these trigger signs or these that I've just mentioned in this video, and then share what your plan of action is going to be. So let me know what type of action you're going to take. Which one of these are you going to implement into your daily or weekly routine? Because the thing is, for 2025, I said we have to get you out of pain. That includes in your toes and in your fingers. No more pain for 2025. If you've suffered over a year, that is way too long. If you've been suffering for 5 years, way too long. We got to get you out of pain in 2025, get you up and running, up and rolling, right? Feeling better, looking good, right? Healthy, happy, healing. That's what we want. Happy, healthy, and healing. Healing, happy, and healthy, right? That's what we want. All right. If you're new to my channel, I want to say a hearty welcome to you. I'm so glad that you found my channel. Thank you for stopping by. If you have not already subscribed, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button down below. While you're there, hit the notification bell so you'll be notified every time I upload a new video so you don't miss out and you have to look for it. Where's Coach Raynaud, the Holistic Boss? I can't find her video. So make sure you subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you'll be notified every time I upload new content, right? Also, share this video. If you like it, share it with the masses, your friends, your family, so YouTube can spread this out in the world to those individuals who need to learn how to remove the inflammation from their toes and their fingers and the signs that they may be experiencing, signs and reasons that they may be experiencing. So if this video was helpful to you, give me a thumbs up. like, subscribe, and share. All right, beautiful. I look forward to your comments. Thank you for your comments. Keep them coming. You have helped me for this new year in 2025. You told me what you wanted. You wanted more information on how to rid the body of inflammation, what the signs are. So I'm trying to keep my promise to you and bring you more content when it comes to how to remove inflammation from the body, what inflammation looks like, where does it originate, how does it feel? We don't know. It doesn't always feel, right? Until it's right up on us. I said sometimes it sneaks upon us like a thief in the night. We don't know when that inflammation or where that inflammation is going to help us, but it comes to rob, steal, and kill our joy, right? We don't want that in 2025. We want to be joyful in spite of what's going on in the world. We want to be joyful and heal our bodies. All right. All right. Beautiful. Thanks for watching. Thanks for staying until the end. Once again, don't forget to check out the links. I'll put the links in the description to my anti-inflammatory recipe guide. There are other links that you can check out. I am still have other things cooking for this new year. And just know that I see you, I hear you, and I read your comments. So thank you for those comments. All right. Until next time, remember to stay whole, healthy, and happy. All right, beautiful. Take care. Bye-bye.